Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's close to my heart: anxious attachment. If you've ever felt like you care too much, worry about being abandoned, or struggle with feeling truly seen and secure in relationships, this video is for you. Let's start with the basics. What exactly anxious attachment? In the simplest terms, it's one of the 4 attachment styles, and it's often rooted in our earliest experiences. Imagine a childhood where love and security weren't always guaranteed, where you learned to be hyper aware of the emotional temperature around you. Maybe your caregivers were inconsistent, sometimes warm and attentive, sometimes distant or overwhelmed. This inconsistency can create a blueprint in us, a deep-seated fear of abandonment that follows us into adulthood. As adults, anxious attachment can manifest in so many ways. We might overanalyze every text message, searching for hidden meanings or signs of withdrawal. Let's talk about love, because this is often where anxious attachment takes center stage. You might find yourself falling hard and fast, idealizing partners before you truly know them. The intensity feels real, and it is, but it's often fueled by a deep-seated longing for security and validation. And when your partner pulls away, even for the most normal reasons, work, friends, needing some space, it can trigger all those old wounds. You might find yourself needing constant reassurance, struggling to believe that your partner loves you even when they're not actively showing it. It's also common for those with an anxious attachment style to be drawn to partners who are avoidant. Anxious attachment doesn't just show up in romantic relationships, it can impact our friendships too. Do you ever feel left out, even when there's no logical reason to feel that way? Do you find yourself overanalyzing your friends' words and actions, searching for signs that they don't actually like you? You might find yourself overcompensating in friendships, becoming the people pleaser, always going the extra mile to be helpful and accommodating. But here's the thing: true friendship requires authenticity. If you're constantly shrinking yourself to fit into the mold of what you think others want, you're not giving your friends the opportunity to love and accept you for who you truly are. Let's talk about work, because this is another area where anxious attachment can rear its head. Do you find yourself over-apologizing, even for things that aren't your fault? Do you struggle with imposter syndrome? That nagging feeling that you're not good enough and that you're going to be found out? You might become overly invested in approval, terrified of making mistakes, or disappointing your boss or colleagues. This fear of failure can be paralyzing, preventing you from taking risks and sharing your unique gifts with the world. And ironically, it can actually hinder your performance, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead of beating yourself up, try to approach setbacks with curiosity and compassion. Living with unaddressed anxious attachment can take a toll on both our mental and physical well-being. The constant state of hypervigilance, the worrying, the emotional roller coaster, it's exhausting. You might experience chronic stress, leading to headaches, digestive problems, difficulty sleeping, all those physical manifestations of anxiety. Emotionally, you might find yourself struggling with depression, panic attacks, or obsessive thinking. And because anxious attachment often involves suppressing your own needs and emotions, you might struggle with emotional regulation. It's important to remember that you're not broken. You're just wired for connection, and your system is trying to protect you from further hurt. Now, let's talk about healing. Because here's the beautiful truth. Even though anxious attachment is rooted in early experiences, it doesn't have to define us. We can heal those old wounds. One of the most powerful things you can do is to surround yourself with people who are emotionally available and consistent. This might mean having difficult conversations with loved ones who perpetuate those old patterns of insecurity. If you're dating, pay attention to how potential partners make you feel. Healing anxious attachment isn't just about finding secure relationships. It's also about cultivating self-security. It's about learning to soothe yourself, to be your own source of comfort and reassurance. Instead of constantly seeking validation from others, practice validating yourself. Remind yourself of your strengths, your accomplishments, your inherent worth. Learn to recognize your triggers, those situations or behaviors that send you spiraling into anxiety, and develop coping mechanisms. Deep breathing, meditation, journaling, spending time in nature. These are all powerful tools for calming your nervous system and regulating your emotions. Our thoughts have incredible power. They can either keep us trapped in cycles of anxiety and insecurity, or they can set us free. If you're struggling with anxious attachment, it's time to challenge those old limiting beliefs that are no longer serving you. Replace thoughts like, I'm too much, or I'm not worthy of love, with affirmations like, I am enough and I am deserving of healthy, loving relationships. It might feel silly at first, but the more you repeat these affirmations, the more you'll start to believe them. And here's a powerful reframe. When someone needs space, it doesn't necessarily mean they're rejecting you. Emotional independence isn't about becoming an island, completely self-sufficient and detached from others. It's about recognizing that your worthiness and happiness are not contingent upon being in a relationship. It's about finding fulfillment and joy in your own right. What are you passionate about? What makes you feel alive? Make time for those things. Invest in your hobbies, your interests, your personal growth. Remember, relationships are meant to enhance our lives, not complete us. Sometimes we need a little extra support on our healing journey. If you're struggling to break free from anxious attachment patterns, therapy can be incredibly beneficial. Look for a therapist who specializes in attachment theory or trauma-informed care. They can provide you with the tools and guidance you need to understand your patterns, challenge your limiting beliefs, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Inner child work can also be incredibly transformative. Healing is a journey, not a destination. Healing anxious attachment takes time, but it's possible. It's about showing up for yourself with the same love and compassion you so freely give to others. By learning to self-soothe, creating secure relationships, and breaking old patterns, you can feel more at peace in love and life. Let me know in the comments, what's one thing that helps you feel more secure in relationships? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. See you in the next video.